The high atmosphere stretches out as a vast expanse of thin air and biting cold. While the meteoroid burns downward through the darkness with a terrifying momentum, it is a massive, jagged fist of stone trailing fire behind it as the sky screams around its descent, creating a friction-heavy roar that echoes through the silence of space. Far below the orbital chaos, the city lies spread out like a map composed of millions of lights. And the people within remain utterly unaware that a mountain of burning rock is currently aimed at their rooftops. The silence of the upper atmosphere is shattered by a violent crack, as reality tears open to reveal a jagged hole in the fabric of space. Myth appears beside the meteoroid as if he had been invited to the catastrophe, remaining suspended in the void and falling at the same speed as the rock, while his galaxy effect becomes visible across his human form. The stars around his body swirl violently across his form because his powers are inherently unstable at this extreme altitude. Yet even though the wind doesn't touch his protected body, the raw force of gravity certainly does. He looks at the meteoroid with a focused intensity, and as he realizes that the scale of the object is significantly larger than he expected, he mutters, "How did you get so big?" Like an uncle talking to nephew he hasn't seen since a toddler. He reaches out with a determined motion, thrusting one hand forward with his palm open as he attempts to interface with the falling mass. The momentum of the rock suddenly clamps under his influence, causing the meteoroid to lurch against its own weight, as its descent slows just slightly while fighting against the rigid laws of physics. Myth grunts under the massive physical strain because the sheer force of the object pushes back into his frame, and he can feel his chest tighten as the redirected pressure begins building within his ribs. Despite his effort, the meteoroid keeps falling toward the Earth, moving slower than before but showing no signs of stopping its deadly journey. He pulls his other hand back to gather his strength, and then thrusts both palms forward now to initiate a more desperate measure. A gravity wave release erupts from his hands in a focused, tight, and implosive burst that strikes the center of the burning rock. The meteoroid cracks under the sudden shift in density, and a deep fissure splits down the center to reveal glowing orange, molten rock visible inside the core of the stone. However, even this massive exertion is not enough to end the threat, as the rock remains still falling and still massive enough to level a city. Myth's breathing quickens as the adrenaline spikes through his system, and he realizes he needs more distance and must get higher to generate the force required for a total shutdown. Another crack echoes through the clouds as he teleports himself even higher into the sky.
He reappears 2,000 feet above the meteoroid now,
and the shockwave from his sudden teleportation ripples outward in a visible circle of distorted air. The air ionizes around his arrival as a visible pulse spreads across the sky in a blue-white